maybe we should touch upon how when we got out of Whitesboro and we went to Culver Ave and Broad Street with Precise Promotions.
Yeah.
And we gave that up.
But I knew I couldn't give that up until we had something somewhat solid to replace it. And that's when Don and I were working with NIB and the state of New York to get another contract that would fill the void when we give up this, because we knew we were going to have to give it up. It was a very, very difficult contract that we had with this company. But we just couldn't give it up and then have people sitting home waiting for something. So it fell into place. We got this building. Okay, we had the building. We still couldn't give it up yet because we didn't have anything to fill the building with. Obviously, I was the only one downstairs. So that's when we went to NIB. And at this convention, I met someone who introduced me to this glove supplier. And in the interim, we're still working with other products. We had the pencils came along. We were working with the state of New York. Board of Education, New York City, buys thousands and thousands of of pencils. With the New York City board, they give pencils to the kids, not like in Utica here. They don't give the kids pencils, but they actually gave kids pencils. Kids, they used a lot of pencils. So we got that contract. It was a tipping contract. We had to buy the machine. I buy the blank pencils and then put the eraser in the ferrule onto the pencil, and then we had our folks would sit there and they would pack these pencils into a sleeve of a dozen, into 12 sleeves in a box, and so on and so forth.
Tell how you got the contract. Under the preferred source program, like Lucas said, if the state needs a product and they're buying it, and if you're competitive, and if you have 70%, 5% of blind labor, you can bid on it and get it. So I said, what does the state use? And that's what Luca came up with, pencils. Look at all the pencils they use. So we went down to Pennsylvania, a company called Eberhard Faber, and we met him, right? Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we bought a used pencil machine. We got the contract for the state to do the pencils. We bought the used pencil machine, and we're doing that. Let's just touch upon getting back to Broad Street and Culver Ave. When we gave that up, like you said, we had other products, and we set up a price promotion. We're done. We're all through. You know what we did with that product? We gave it to the ARC, and they were working in that building and employing some of the people with developmental disabilities. I don't know if they're still doing that contract or not, but anyways, we were out of it completely. And because Luca was able to get other contracts, mention some of the other contracts that we got.
Well, along with the pencils, again, I approached the state agencies and said, what do you use that we could possibly sell you? And rubber bands, they said, how about rubber bands? That's fine. Wipes, these paper wipes that the Department of Transportation uses. And that's an interesting story because agency in New York City, this huge agency, they got out of their work program, and they had a lot of machines that they were using for different products. And one that I thought was very interesting was a huge machine would take a huge roll of paper, it would roll it out and cut it into 9 by 12 inch sheets, and they would have to be packed. And I said, I want that business in Utica because we've got this building. Again, I had to fill the building, and it would be jobs for people who are blind. They could actually operate this machine package. So we took that from Rick Bland, got that from New York City. So now we're into pencils, rubber bands, paper products. Sewing was always a big thing. We never gave that.
What about the folders?
What about the file folders?
Then again, I learned a lot. I don't want to say I stole a lot of ideas, but I did from other agencies.
Yeah.
Don would send me out to these go see what they are doing, see if you could bring that kind of work back to our agency. So I went to North Carolina, and I met again with Bill Hudson. They've got these huge machines that are making file folders. Oh, even Binghamton had a machine for the federal government. I said, geez, that would be good. We could, that's a good contract. It's a solid contract. But the clincher was we needed to buy a machine. The first machine we bought was like $300,000. So again, I called Ken. Ken, we have to buy a machine, and we should go to Milwaukee and see what we can do about buying this machine. So we did. Long story short, we got into the file fold. We had the product accepted by the state of New York. So we were selling them file folders. So now file folders, pencils, rubber bands, and so on and so forth. And we even extended that beyond that. There was another folder that they were buying. It's called a double top. And that machine was $450,000. So we did it. We got
Yeah.
the money somehow. We went out and bought another machine.
Right, right.
And more jobs were created.